Grey's Anatomy fans have had to watch a lot of their favorite characters die. However, on fictional TV, the bright side of goodbye is that not even death is final. Let's take a look at all of the Grey's Anatomy cast members who have returned to Grey Sloan Memorial Hospital. TR Knight's character George O'Malley dies a hero, stepping in front of a bus to save a stranger in the Season 5 finale. His thoughts as an actor leaving the series, however, weren't so epic. Knight told Entertainment Weekly that he left the show because of creative differences, saying, "My 5-year experience proved to me that I could not trust any answer that was given about George." Knight put those differences aside so that George could reunite with Meredith Grey on a beach while she's in a COVID-induced unconscious state in Season 17. After conversations with showrunner Krista Vernoff, Knight said he was also inspired to return to Grey's Anatomy by his husband. He told Deadline, "We were talking about that idea of closure, and he was saying that sometimes closure is shutting a door, and sometimes it's revisiting a familiar room and finding what brought you joy, and it just hit me." Knight's return episode is titled You'll Never Walk Alone. He said that spending the day shooting on the beach with his ex-colleagues was, quote, "just unlike any other experience I've ever had in my entire life, in my 47 years. Patrick Dempsey left Grey's Anatomy after playing Meredith Grey's husband, Dr. Derek Shepherd, for 11 seasons. Like George O'Malley, Dr. Shepherd exits a hero after he dies from complications after a car accident where he saved a mother and daughter. And like TR Knight, the real reason behind Dempsey's departure was reportedly not as valiant. Before the news officially broke, Page 6 reported Dempsey was allegedly a diva on set. A source said, Shonda Rhimes suspended him for a while, and the word on set is that he isn't coming back full-time. Dempsey confessed to Entertainment Weekly that his work hours were impacting his family life. You never know your schedule, so your kid asks you, "What are you doing on Monday?" And you go, "I don't know, because I don't know my schedule." Doing that for 11 years is challenging. Like O'Malley, Derek also returned as part of Meredith's COVID-induced dreams. Krista Vernoff has been Grey's Anatomy showrunner since Season 14, and told Deadline that the idea to bring characters back in Season 17 is about bringing joy to fans. Dempsey agreed with this sentiment and agreed to come back. He said, "I think the whole atmosphere has changed. Certainly working at the beach and seeing everybody again was really a very healing process, and really rewarding, and a lot of fun." Jeffrey Dean Morgan first appeared on Grey's Anatomy when he played a patient named Denny Duquette, who falls in love with his doctor, Izzy Stevens. Denny has a bad heart, and even though Izzy takes extreme and morally questionable steps to try and save his life, he dies in the Season 2 finale. Morgan told the Los Angeles Times in 2006 that he pleaded with showrunner Shonda Rhimes, "Please, please just let me live." Unfortunately, none of his begging worked. He continued about the day he shot Denny's death scene, "A dark, grim day. I'm still not over it. It broke my heart to leave that show." He did, however, credit Shonda Rhimes and Grey's Anatomy with giving him the notoriety as an actor to choose, quote, "the kind of projects he wants to do." Ghosts visit the living easily enough on TV, so Morgan and Denny have reappeared on our screens several times over the years. In Season 3, Denny is one of a few patients who visit Meredith's unconscious thoughts, while she fights to survive after drowning.
Damn right you are.
Denny's ghost also appears in several episodes in Season 5 to try and warn his former fiancée Izzy that she has cancer. This is when we learn that ghost love only works well on supernatural shows. When Grey's Anatomy fans tuned into the April 1st, 2021 episode Breathe, not only were they graced with the appearance of Chyler Leigh's character Lexi Gray, who dies in a plane crash in the Season 8 finale, but also Eric Dane's character Dr. Mark Sloan, the love of Lexi's life. Dane previously left the show in Season 9. While Mark initially survived the plane crash during the Season 8 finale, he later died of complications. Dane told The Hollywood Reporter that he was in China filming a movie when he got the first call from showrunner Krista Vernoff about returning. The story made sense, so Dane signed up. He said, "It feels like I never left. It's a role that always fit for me, like one of those great old t-shirts. And it was just like putting the t-shirt back on and hanging out on a beach for a couple days, and catching up with some old friends." Being that Chyler Leigh filmed Supergirl in Canada, she unfortunately couldn't physically reunite with Dane and Ellen Pompeo for the much-anticipated beach scene, but Grey's Anatomy used, quote, "green screen magic" to make it all happen. As for their characters, Dane believes they're meant to be together in any dimension, saying, "I think Mark would have found Lexi no matter what, whether it would have been on Meredith's beach or Lexi's beach or anybody's beach. I think Mark would have found her." Sarah Drew's character, April Kepner, first joins the staff of Seattle Grace Hospital when it merges with the fictional Mercy West Hospital in Season 6. April quickly became a beloved fan favorite, especially after she elopes with fellow Mercy West transplant Jackson Avery. The couple goes through many hardships together, and despite their popularity, they never find their way back to each other after a divorce. In March 2018, Deadline reported that Drew was exiting Grey's Anatomy for creative reasons. Drew expressed her sadness about leaving to fans on Instagram. "Thank you for all of the love. I know you're sad. I'm sad too." Luckily Unfortunately for fans, Drew is gearing up for a return, Deadline reported in March 2021. We're unsure about the nature of her return, but April doesn't die in her final episode, so she probably won't be in Meredith's beachy limbo state dreams. However, Drew and Williams have filmed scenes together. They're all smiles in a video filmed on set, which they posted to their individual Instagram accounts. The air date of Drew's return is set for May 6, 2021. Grey's Anatomy has seen the return of many former cast members as guest stars over the years. So far, the only person to return to her role as a series regular is Kim Raver, who joined the cast in Season 6 as cardiothoracic surgeon Dr. Teddy Altman.
Teddy and I, we served in Iraq together, and she's going to be joining us for a little while. Okay. Come on, I'll introduce you to Chief.
She gets involved in a love triangle with Dr. Owen Hunt, whom she served with in the Army, and her mentee, Dr. Christina Yang. Teddy moves on to a new job after the Season 8 finale, needing a new start after her husband Henry dies. Plus, she's likely sick of pining over Owen. In Season 14 of the show, Owen visits Teddy in Germany. By the season finale, she tells him she's pregnant with his daughter. Deadline reported that it was announced Raver would return as a series regular, ahead of Season 15, of which she said she was, quote, thrilled. She said, "I have a special place in my heart for Teddy, and feel very lucky to have the opportunity to continue her story." Isaiah Washington had one of the most contentious Grey's Anatomy exit stories, making his return that much more shocking. To refresh your memory, Washington, who played Dr. Christina Yang's love interest, Dr. Preston Burke, was fired from the show after the Season 3 finale for using a homophobic slur, in reference to co-star T.R. Knight, the New York Times reported. Washington told Entertainment Weekly, "I'm saddened by the outcome. I did everything that the producers and the network asked me to do, to apologize. I came back under great duress and stress, and thought I was doing the job I was hired to do." 7 years later, Washington reprised the role of Preston to entice Christina to take a job in Switzerland, as part of the writer's way of accommodating Sandra Oh's decision to leave Grey's Anatomy in Season 10. Because of the controversy surrounding his firing, Shonda Rhimes released a statement about his return. According to The Hollywood Reporter, she said, "It's important to me that Christina's journey unfolds exactly as it should. Burke is vital to that journey. He gives her story that full circle moment we need to properly say goodbye to our beloved Christina Yang." It's hard to imagine a time when Caterina Scorsone didn't roam the halls of Gray Sloan Memorial Hospital as renowned neurosurgeon Amelia Shepard, younger sister of Dr. Derek Shepard. However, you may remember how her character at first only appeared in a single Season 7 episode before returning to California. Scorsone's character was reintroduced in Season 10, and she joined the cast as a regular in Season 11. Amelia has been through a lot in Seattle, putting aside that she's a recovering drug addict who had already lost a baby and a fiancé when she arrived in Washington. Amelia is now a mother to her son Scout with her boyfriend Link. She told The Hollywood Reporter in 2019, "We've seen Amelia be unbelievably resilient. She must be made of some sort of rubber because she seems to bounce." Sometimes the patients at Gray Sloan Memorial Hospital are as memorable as our favorite doctors, although it's usually because they've died in some catastrophic tragedy. But that's not exactly what happened to Mandy Moore's character Mary Portman, when Moore appeared on the medical drama years before she captured our hearts on This Is Us. Moore first appeared on the iconic Season 6 episode Sanctuary and Death and All His Friends. Mary is at Seattle Grace to get a colostomy bag reversal courtesy of Dr. Miranda Bailey, but the procedure never happens because of a shooting in the hospital. Moore returns in the Season 7 episode These Arms of Mine. This time, the hospital is filming a documentary, and Dr. Bailey is finally going to perform the procedure on Mary. Tragically, there are complications, and Mary is brain dead for much of the episode before she dies. Moore is credited in a later Season 7 episode That's Me Trying, playing a corpse as a heartbroken Miranda tries to uncover Mary's cause of death. On the pilot episode of Grey's Anatomy, Meredith Grey gets to partake in Katie Bryce's surgery with Dr. Derek Shepard because she correctly diagnoses an aneurysm that was difficult to find. Katie, played by Skyler Shaye, returns 11 seasons later to have Dr. Amelia Shepard operate on another aneurysm in the episode My Next Life. But that wasn't the last we'd seen of Katie Bryce. She appears in front of the medical board on behalf of Meredith in the Season 16 episode My Shot, when the doctor's medical license is in jeopardy. Upon her first return, Shaye spoke with Cosmopolitan about the memories she had from filming the pilot. "I remember my last day of filming. Katie, Katherine Heigl, gave me a card. I still have it, saying how wonderful it was to work with me, and she hopes to see me soon." Shaye shared that she had an emotional moment with a cast member upon her first return to set. "As soon as I got in the bed and had the gown on, I look at Chandra Wilson, she directed this episode and plays Dr. Miranda Bailey, and I started crying, and she started crying. We both had this emotional moment together." Kyle Chandler is more than our favorite football coach on Friday Night Lights. He also played Dylan Young, aka the Bomb Squad guy, in Season 2 episodes It's the End of the World and As We Know It. It's Dylan's job to safely dispose of an active bomb that's in a man's chest cavity, after safely instructing Meredith Grey on how to remove her hand from inside of it. Meredith survives, but unfortunately Young dies when the bomb explodes in his hand as he's about to dispose of it. Showrunner Shonda Rhimes told Entertainment Weekly in 2017 that she regrets her creative choice. "Dylan was written to explode, but I did not expect to have Kyle Chandler. I didn't want to explode him." But as we've seen already, it's easy to bring the dead back to life on TV. Rhimes had Chandler come back for 2 episodes in Season 3 as a ghost that visits Meredith's thoughts when she's fighting for her life after drowning. Old school Grey's Anatomy fans remember that a lot happened in Season 2. Before the bomb in the chest cavity, there was a train crash in the Season 2 episode Into You Like a Train. Years after playing Abby, the girl everyone loved to hate on Dawson's Creek, Monica Keena plays Bonnie, who has a fiancé named Danny and her whole life ahead of her when a train crashes and she's suddenly fatefully connected to a fellow passenger named Tom, after a pole impales them. Even Tom asks the doctors to save Bonnie, who is younger than him, but that's not how medicine works. Once the two are separated, doctors are unable to save Bonnie, though Meredith Grey gives it her best shot. Keena returns along with many of Meredith's patients when she's fighting for her life after a drowning incident in the Season 3 episode Some Kind of Miracle. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Nicki Swift videos about your favorite stuff are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.